The White Lotus was created by Mike White. The series has captivated audiences and critics alike with its sharp social satire, luxurious settings, and stellar cast. What are these seasons about, generally? Each season is set in a different luxury hotel, following the roughly week-long vacation of some wealthy, privileged guests and some of the hotel staff. The hotels are located in relatively remote areas. Within the show's logic, the characters step out of their usual environments and daily routines closer to nature, where its power draws to the surface their inner, more primal selves. But the story's language calls the monkey nature.
But in fact, we're just monkeys. Living in our little monkey pods, driven by base instincts to create these hierarchies and hump each other.
In this way, the instinctual foundations of the individuals and of those close to them are exposed. And what dangers arise when our inner instincts take over. Season 1 is set on a Hawaiian island. The season's central question is, to what extent are we prisoners of our primal instincts and drives? Can we master our inner nature? The strange incident right at the beginning suggests that total control is doomed to fail. The trainee, Lani, is determined to start work because she needs the job.
Sorry, I needed work.
She could give birth at any minute, yet she tries to get through the day. In the end, nature takes over and overrides all of Lani's plans. We follow the stories of 3 groups of guests. Rachel and Shane are newlyweds on their honeymoon. There is a family, the father, the mother, their daughter and her friend Paula, and the younger son. An aging, wealthy heiress comes along, hoping to scatter her mother's ashes into the ocean. 3 members of the staff are also directly involved in the story: the manager, Kai the bellboy, and Belinda from the spa. The statement of the first season can be shortly summarized. If we cannot govern our primal urges, they drive us to a downfall. What we can do is pull ourselves together and make a leap to break free from spiraling down. All of this is presented like a thought experiment by the newlywed Rachel. The story pays special attention to Rachel. The opening scene implies she is the one who dies. A package labeled human remains is loaded onto a plane. She and her husband arrive for their honeymoon.
It's my honeymoon.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, wonderful. Was it everything you hoped?
Where's your wife?
Yeah, where's your wife?
And now he is alone and despondent. Rachel is the main protagonist. The others are almost like walk-on characters in her thought experiment. Rachel, a junior journalist, grew up in modest circumstances. She met Shane, who was born into wealth, and they married very quickly. It soon becomes clear, however, that he is drawn to her primarily on a sexual, instinctual level and sees her as a trophy wife who will spend her life orbiting him.
But what is the reason? Like, why am I here? What do you mean?
Well, you're very magnetic, and you're so beautiful.
Yeah, you're making me sound like a trophy wife.
Well, what's so wrong with that? A trophy shines. It's a source of pride. Trophies made of gold. You know, it's not the worst.
Yeah, but that's not what I want to be.
The most important thing is, Rachel, you make him happy. That's your secret power. So just keep making him happy. I know you will.
He refuses to let her take an assignment and even expects her to give up her career. Earlier, Rachel had to sign a prenuptial agreement, leaving her financially dependent and vulnerable.
I worry that his orbit is stronger than mine, and that that his gravitational pull is gonna just suck me in, and
You'll become a moon to his planet.
yes, and not only lose my mediocre career, which is whatever, but also myself. Do you know what I'm saying?
May I ask, did you sign a prenup?
Yes, but it's generous, but
If your marriage ends, you're not set for life.
no. I mean, there's a structure to it and a time component, and it's complicated, but basically no.
And I think you've got to be really careful. And you've got to keep your own orbit going.
One of this season's question is how durable a relationship built primarily on sex can be. How much we should give in to our instincts. In the family, the husband and wife have been married for 22 years. In an odd conversation, we learned that the attraction was very strong at first.
I have it all the time. She thought it was nuts. She thought that I should see a doctor.
But it has waned over the years.
How do you keep the spark alive?
Oh, the spark? No, that's not alive. That died. Yeah. I mean, love may be alive, but spark.
Sure. That happens.
The wife and husband are in a markedly asymmetrical relationship. In a conversation with his son, the husband suggests that his instincts led him into this situation, something one shouldn't allow.
In the moment, you're like this. You're a monkey. Possessed. You do anything to get your rocks off. And then later, you regret it. And you do regret it.
Because of her position, the wife earns much more, and she expresses it all the time. She is also highly controlling. She even wants to rearrange the hotel room.
Oh, good. Hi, girls. Can you just help me move this bed in? I just need to do it real quick.
Mom, there's meds for this.
She becomes very irritated with Rachel upon learning that Rachel wrote the article mentioning she obtained her post through a murky PC controversy. She feels it is like questioning her talent, so her competence, thus her right to be in charge. Later, she flies into a rage when she realizes that her husband told their son about his past infidelity. She is hurt because their son now knows that there was a time she wasn't the most important person in her husband's world, and she has been punishing him ever since. The husband is forced onto the defensive and becomes neurotic. He loses his drive, can't live in the present, and can't plan for the future. At first, he fears he is ill. An odd scene raises the question of whether he can have a healthy pair of balls, meaning whether he can find his courage. At the same time, he blames an emasculating zeitgeist, because if that's the case, nothing can be done, and it isn't his fault. Just as he is about to be relieved that he's healthy, he learns that his father actually died of AIDS. Despite having a family, his father frequently had male partners. Therefore, the husband concludes that his father gave in to his primal instincts and died because of it. The husband and wife's situation shows, on the one hand, that a relationship based solely on sex has a very short life. On the other hand, that an asymmetric arrangement leaves the husband deeply vulnerable and leads him to waste his life. The wife doesn't even realize she is the one forcing her husband into this position. It is especially ironic when she tries to protect her son from ending up in the same situation. The daughter perfectly mirrors the mother's control freak tendencies, while the younger son reflects the father's vulnerability. Yet the mother does not notice this, and the daughter flatly denies the resemblance.
I don't understand.
Yes, I will. I'm not my parents, Paula.
But you are.
In this way, the mother is actually reproducing her own patterns. The daughter was allowed to invite her BFF, Paula, on the trip. The two are smart, but they weaponize their intelligence. They read a lot, yet have an unrealistic view of the world, which gives them a false sense of certainty. They literally look down on everyone, and belittle others, literally. And they readily ignore it when they're proven wrong. The daughter actually wants to keep her friend under total control and grows jealous whenever her friend gets something she doesn't. Paula suffers from constant minor health issues as if to draw attention to herself. The girl's emptiness shows in the fact that however clever they consider themselves to be, they can't find beauty or meaning in life, and they try to fill that void with drugs. The hollowness of their ideas is revealed by the story of Kai, the bellboy. Because of his feelings, Kai is drawn into a robbery, and his life takes an ominous turn. In the end, he becomes the victim of Paula's unrealistic beliefs and actions. The next part examines other characters and events and how all of these relate to Rachel's situation. Perhaps this is the most important decision of her life, her most pivotal moment.
I'm just having a moment. I don't know. What do you think?
And what does the story say about how we can escape the trap of the baggage of our primal instincts?